Diorma hasa cuardaigh. Now, I'm running a bit late with my July and Chobáiste videos, but I did say that I would make a video for every day in July and Chobáiste and not make a video every day in July and Chobáiste. There's a subtle difference, pay attention. But I'll catch up on the days that I've missed so far. Today is the 7th of July. And the reason that I'm making this video is that in 6 days' time, it will be the 12th of July, which is a big day in Northern Ireland. So I thought that there's 6 days to go, so that for each of the 6 days to go, I'll make a video of each of the 6 counties. And for my viewers outside of Ireland or who are geographically ignorant, the 6 counties of Northern Ireland, you can remember them by Fat Dad, Fermanagh, Antrim, Tyrone or Tyrone, Derry, Armagh and Down. Fat Dad. So I'll start this video with a view of the Irish of Rathlin Island in Antrim. Now, I should say that I'm by no means an expert on Northern Gaelic, and that you'd be well to look up the works of Ciarán Dunbar or Ciarán Ó Duibhín, or probably Ciarán Ó Duibhín, as he probably says himself. And they've done some excellent work researching and promoting the dialects of Northern Irish, Northern Gaelic, and I'll try to put links to their works online. Anyway, so let's start off looking at the Gaelic or the Irish of Rathlin Island. I won't say too much about the history of Rathlin Island, except that it has undergone a number of massacres in its history, especially during the Cromwellian invasions. It was 1642, where a lot of the women and children were thrown off the cliff by Cromwellian Covenant forces. But anyway, I'll just push on with the thing I want. Any other thing else I'll put in the description box. So, let's start off. Hiatus. What is hiatus? Basically just means a gap in a word. In Irish, nowadays you often see the term Hiatus, S-E-A-N-A-S. I dislike that word. I would rather call it bearna or barna, just a gap. Hiatus originally meant a gap in the teeth, not necessarily a gap, but the word Hiatus itself comes from the word Ciarán, S-E-A-N, which actually comes from the Latin signa, where we get the English word sign, but it meant a good sign. But anyway, hiatus. So, by this term is understood a vowel meeting, arising in a word or in context, whereat the vowels belong to different syllables. Hiatus, which existed in Old Irish or Old Gaelic, judging from the orthography and other things beside, but which seems to have almost entirely disappeared from Ireland during the Middle Irish period, though it still survives in Scotland and Rathlin, has always been depended on suppression and quiescence, the making of silence of consonants. In Rathlin, the hiatus is not nearly so marked as in Scotland. So for example, Cuan, narrow, may rhyme with uan, lam, which historically don't rhyme. Cuan, because ng in unstressed syllables in Ulster Irish, including County Meath, has become nn. The officialised misspelling of the Caidheanna Figiúil of this nowadays is cu for the ng, cung, as it's said in Kerry, cung. But this is the spelling required for all dialects to derive their pronunciation, because the n and g wouldn't become nn in Ulster if it weren't in the second syllable. Whereas the misspelling of the Caidheanna Figiúil, cu for the ng, it looks like the ng is in the first syllable. But anyway, it is mostly characterised by a minimum of intensity, which marks the syllable limit, and which will be marked here by an inverted period, punk, in cases where it is clearly audible. But it is in many cases difficult, especially owing to the diphthongization of long vowels, basically where a long vowel becomes 2 vowels. And notice diphthong, a lot of people say diphthong, but di in Greek means 2, and phthong or phthong in ancient Greek pronunciation is a sound. Anyway, to perceive the hiatus where it occurs in Rathlin words. The people at Gaedhilg, County Antrim especially, make a clear distinction between cases of diphthongs and hiatus. Thus with Speaker 15a, words like Brúigh, grade, slope, or a bray, Scottish brúigh. Fiach, or fiach, Scottish in Scotland spelt with a historical th. Skian. Notice there that the S is broad but the k is slender. So skian, wing, are distinct from. Now I'll put these side by side. So brúigh, when it means a grade, is distinct from brúach, one syllable, when it means an edge or a river bank. Fiach, when it means a raven, is distinct from fiach, one syllable, when it means the word for worth or debt is fiach, one syllable, and the word skian, a wing, skihan in other places, but notice that the long vowel has become shortened in most of Ulster. Here is different from skian, the S is broad, skian. Knife. This distinction, however, is not made by speakers 8, 9, etc., 13. Speakers 15, 15b, 15c, as well as 8 say that they can hear the difference but are not able to pronounce it. On the other hand, they and many others make a clear distinction between hiatus and long vowels in the word la, de, which is 2 syllables, in not just law, but la, mran. Again, that's a feature of Ulster Irish, that mn, or basically any consonant that isn't s, followed by an n, the n becomes an r, or actually originally a nasalized r. A nasalized r, that'll do. So mran, women. Dog. This is an interesting feature. In the officialised misspelling, that is spelled just D or father, which creates a number of problems, but this is something closer to the classical spelling. Sometimes you see DH. In fact, actually, it was just hiatus. It was neither GH nor DH. But you can see here that in Antrim, in Rathlin, that it had 2 syllables. Dog. And notice that O Fada in Ulster Irish, and including Meath, and Loud, of course, that the O Fada is pronounced as an open A, not as a closed O. We'll come to examples of that. So dog, burning. Grai, business. Grai, by speaker number 3. And Tha as well, is it? Tha, there is lawn, full, dai, manner. Even though they may break up the long vowel into a diphthong, you find that even in most of the dialects of Ireland, basically, that don't have hiatus. Tha, you'd often hear an emphatic answers. Tha. The vowel is always short when the hiatus is marked by a strong reduction of intensity, as with speakers 13 and 15a. Otherwise, it is given the half length, and this holds good whether the vowel was originally short or long. Compare the above instances, or confer the above instances. In the following words, there is a more or less clear hiatus. Ad, where the G has become a GH and then disappears. Ad, with you. Ain, with us. A, not in Kerry, that will be pronounced Oige. Face. Agus is pronounced as, actually related to the Welsh word agus, near. And Angus, misspelled there, that should be A-O, is pronounced naisc, again with 2 syllables. Naisc. The word for again. Reisht. I mentioned in the video that I made an R about the hiatus there, actually, and here we have it in Rathlin. Reisht. Again. R, where the TH has disappeared. You also find that in Loud, for example, and other places in Ulster. R. And Ash, or Ash. Notice the difference in the vowels there. Ash. Back. Viog. This is a very interesting word because historically this had hiatus. There was a J in between. Well, not in the spelling, but that's the reason why what was originally a soft T became a soft D, and that once the DH, the cardinal, the tongue front, disappeared around 1200, 1300, it became a r. And a very distinctive feature of Rathlin Gaelic is that unstressed r at the end of a word becomes just a G. So viog. Well, he says would be, but that's actually corresponds to the form used to be, the conspitudinal. Would be, will be, be. Notice the two syllables, whereas the spelling only implies that it's one. I would actually spell that as be I father apostrophe IDH, at least at the start of the spelling revolution. Blach, blach, buttermilk, bleon, bleon. If that would, I think bleon, BLE, after the N is the current officialized misspelling. Everyone could actually get their pronunciation from BLEGHAN. But anyway, we'll move on. Boer, deaf, pronounced Baur in Munster, well, at least in Munster. Possibly Boer, actually, in Leinster. But anyway, Brar, brother. Now, you would expect the Brar. Well, a feature of Ulster Irish is that a father and possibly other vowels becomes shortened before a H, which this TH has become. So not Braher, first of all, but Braher. And there he makes a point earlier on, Holmer, that because of an English influence, that sometimes the distinction in between broad and slender consonants has been lost or kind of neutralised in Rathlin Gaelic. And of course, the very first sound that always disappears and the hardest sound for non-native learners to learn is this slender R sound. So you'll notice that here he just leaves it blank. Brar. Anyway, Cag, a jackdaw. This actually comes from, that was originally Ca Og, CA for the, and then O for the G. But in all dialects, the hiatus has been removed, except here. Cag. And notice that the Og has actually become a short A. So Cag. Care, two syllables, care. In Leinster Irish, that was probably pronounced care, where the TH disappeared completely. That's a feature of Eastern Irish, we'll say Eastern Irish Gaelic, that H or TH basically disappears in the middle of words. Clacht, digging. Crag, shaking. Crag, tormenting. And again, the misspelling in the Caidiana Figule is just CRA fada, even though that interferes with a number of dialects and morphological rules and everything. But anyway, again, the DH there is unetymological as far as I'm aware. But in any case, it serves as a marker, a syllable divider. Crag. Of course, you couldn't derive the Rathlin pronunciation from the current misspelling, officialized misspelling. Crag, tormenting. Crua, again the DH is unetymological. It was just, I think it derives from a W in Proto-Celtic. Crua, a horseshoe. Dawn, you find that pronunciation as well where the N has been lost in Scotland. Donald, so Dawn. And notice the tilde over the vowels to show that it's nasalized. Dawn. Fall, getting. Fall, again the palatal quality, the slender quality of the L has been lost. But the current officialized misspelling is FA for the IL, which is only monosyllabic, whereas the GH historically was fagal, but has since disappeared. But the word remains in Rathlin as a 2 in Antrim, as a two-syllable word. The same with fáin, that's two syllables as well. Getting. Fast, same thing. Spelt as FO for the S in modern Irish. Still, but notice that speaker number 12 had fast, feiv or feiv. I should say about this V that he seems to confuse the account. Sometimes he says it's bilabial, other times he says it stands for the labiodental as in English, presumably under English influence. Word for waiting, fiad. What's interesting here is that this still is preserved as a two-syllable word, but that the D remains voiced. It remains as a D. You often find in other places in Ulster and even in Kildare, again Eastern Irish, Louth and Meath, that an unstressed D has become a T. So in other places that would be pronounced as feet with a T, but here it's pronounced fiad. 20. Goel, again that A is historically long, but has undergone shortening in most of Ulster, what's called Inner Ulster by Rathl. Goal. Now the case here whether the L has become has lost its slenderness, or actually never was, because historically the nominative was gaval with the broad L, but was very early, even in Old Irish, the prepositional case or the dative case replaced the nominative, but not always actually. Or you see here as well two pronunciations, goal or goal, taking or singing. They often say in Connemara goalín for singing a song. Faun, F-O-N-N, melody. Yoagad, they would get yoagad. The S, that would be shiad in standardized Irish, but actually the form without the S is more historical. Only she originally had an S in it, and then spread to A to form she, he, and to iad to form shiad, they. Grae, business. Haniag, would not eat. I notice that the CH there has become a H because that was originally, you find that in Ulster a lot of the time CH, including Meath, CH, when not at the start of a word, has become a H, or a very loose ch, velar fricative. But the reason that CH has actually become ha in this word always is that it was originally actually in the middle of a word, lochan, nichan, whatever. So that would be better, ha would actually be better spelt with an apostrophe before it. Anyway, la, day, two syllables, loa, rotten. This has now been bastardized as lofa, which is the way it's pronounced, but there are a number of reasons why this classical spelling is better. Lean, related to the Welsh word leathanaigh, broad, with a D. Mar, mother. Nianan, and notice there the typically Scottish plural on. The word is Inyan in classical pronunciation, Inyan, which means born in, that yen, as in G-E-N, born, related to the word genitals, gender. Prain, haste, again in the officialised misspellings in Ireland, the DH has been removed, but the reason that this word is two syllables in Rathlin is because there was originally a DH in it. So if you take out the DH, you get the wrong pronunciation. Ruah, a point. Skiist, rest. Ski, leaghheamh ski, for example, that's related in the south of Ireland. Leaghheamh ski, when I say the south of Ireland, I mean Cork and Kerry, not just the Republic. Saw, Salon, salt cellar. Three-fitted, and notice there the loss of the slenderness in the trees become neutralised. Three-fitted. 60, or more accurately 320s, 3 score. Ual, again in the officialised misspelling in Ireland, that's spelt as U for the LL, but the reason that this word ual, apple, has 2 syllables is because it originally was 2 syllables, and it remains so in Rathlin, or remained so in Rathlin. Craven, Uolan, apple trees, and again notice the typically Scottish plural rather than crevach or crecha. Craven, Craven, Uolan. Ishke Bear, whiskey, the water of life. Anyway, sorry, that was very heavy. In the following cases, single long vowels or diphthongs appear for an expected hiatus. Bór, so basically there's no hiatus here. Bór, lagna cailí boy, dog, burning, but dog, 2 syllables at speaker 13. Fast, yet, compared to the speakers above. File, getting, which is how it's FA for the IL, which reflects the officialised misspelling in Ireland, and the Caidiana figule. Had, they are, which is an interesting form. Had, rather than tá siad or táid or táid siad, so on. Speaker number 4 says lure, which he pronounced as lure, with the loss of the broad GH, a lithe, fish, but his wife says leu. Similarly, Rue Point is called in Irish on rua, but in English Rue Point. The forms without hiatus thus occur, firstly, with people who have not practiced. The forms without hiatus thus occur with people who have not practiced the Irish language for a long time, occasionally with other people through carelessness, and 3, in unstressed position. Confer or compare, especially the pronunciation of agad, again, agus, as pronounced as ad, ain, as, us. Now, that's just all about hiatus. How are we doing so far? 23 minutes. That's heavy going enough. I might actually break that up into a number of videos. I'll stop there, keep it short and sweet, and I'll come back and maybe do more of Rathlin Irish later on today if I have time. Let me know what you want me to do. But I'm going to do a video on each of the 6 on the dialects of each of the 6 counties in Northern Ireland for the next 6 days. So send in your questions and whatever. Alright, slán go fóill.